What up, guys? Welcome to Papi's Reef. Today we'll be going over some of the water changes that we do for both tanks, the small one and the big one that I have over there in the other corner. I'm not showing the big one because flashing continues, so I'll go ahead and walk you guys through to that water change that I do, right? But before, I'm gonna go ahead and feed the tank so you guys can see that as well. Give me 1 second. So what I do for feeding the tank, just go here. I dilute all the mysis shrimp and the brine shrimp mix that I do. I pour that dirty water in here just to keep the phosphates down. Once I have it in there like that, just go over to the tank. All right, put it on here. This guy, he knows what's going on. They go crazy. All right, so that's how I feed the tanks, just to keep those nitrates and phosphates down. So, all right, I'll show you guys step by step what I do for the water change. All right, guys, so first things first. So what we do here is we have a brute 32-gallon container with some wheels on it. I have two of those. I have the little RODI station right here. It's the closest place I could place it near the faucet or the spigot right here, right? So what I do normally, I just come here, grab around 5 gallons from this bucket. Just grab a little bit of water first. This bucket stay inside. They stay pretty clean. Don't have any contact with like chemicals or anything crazy like that. Look at her, she's so happy. Sunbathing, yes. All right, distractions. So I come around here. I put this bucket in here. Just fill it up. I have a mark here, right? So I make sure it reaches like that line right there. That's about right. And then I come here and I pour the first one in before I move on with the rest. So this gets heavy, right? So I just go over. I put this one inside. So this outside is pretty hot. So the water is definitely warm. So the reason why I get it to mix inside is so the temperature, so it gets a little cooler, right? Definitely too hot. That's about like 90 something degrees right now in that bucket, 94, 95. So I mix everything inside. Girls, boys, what's up? Hi. Hello. Hi. Yes. Vamos. Sube. Let's go. Sube. Distractions again. So what I do is I mix it inside so it gets a little cooler. That gets to that line right there. So I do 5 on the 60-gallon Pro Star, and I'm only doing like 10 on the 144. I do that every week, so a month is about 40 gallons in one, 20 on the other, right? And like I said, these buckets are very clean. I don't keep them outside. I don't mix them with chemicals. I don't put anything in here other than just RODI water, and that's it. So I need a little bit more on this one right there. So that's my 15 gallons of RODI. So you can see I kept this pump here with this line, and that's what I use. Once I put the salt in there, I just turn it on, and that just moves all the water around. I make sure it breaks the surface a little bit, so that way it lowers the temperature of the water. Sometimes I put a fan right above. That helps get it down a little faster. But since I like the salt to mix for at least minimum 1 hour, I don't rush it. But you can definitely feel the heat, the temperature in here. Like I said, I think it's like 95, 96. I'm actually gonna get my temperature on my salt reader. I just in Milwaukee, so I'll just get the salt out real quick. You guys can see the temperature and everything else. So say it was like 95, 98, give or take. All right, let's see. Oh, because it's obviously there's no salt in there. 1.0. I'm actually gonna zero this, recalibrate. But you can see the temperature keeps going up. 76, 77, 78, 79. If we keep it here, it's gonna go to 90 something for sure. I'm not gonna bore you with that, and I'll probably cut that out. But it is pretty warm. All right, I have this book here for my knowledge. So I bring it in here. I make sure I jam it in there because of the pressure. It just goes all over the place, right? And then I come in here. It just opened up. So I already have the measurement down for this. So I know 15 gallons of Reef sea salt, tropic marine salt. It's about 1 cup per 2 gallons. So I know that for 15 gallons, I need 7.5 cups or 7 cups and a half cup of salt, so I can be at 1.026 gravity for the salt mixture. I'll just go ahead and just measure it and I get it in there. So that's 1. Let me plug this in real quick. That's 1. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm sorry guys, I'm a little sick. I'm getting sick. 6 and 7. Okay, that's 7. And I got my cup right here, half cup, and I do just like that. 7.5, 15 gallons. And that's it. Now I'll clean this later with some RDI water, just some regular water. It's no big deal. So I'll let this mixing here for about an hour or 2. It really doesn't take that long. The water clears in about 30 to 40 minutes, honestly. However, the reason why I let it for an hour, like I said, I wait for the temperature to get a little cooler on the water so I can match the tank here. I run in my 78. So once I'm in that 78, 79 range, that's when I go and do the water change. And I like the salt to mix for a little bit longer than just waiting that it's clear. I like it for it to mix well and just make sure it dissolves and everything. But you guys will see once I come back, this water will be very clear. You can see that you will see the bottom just fine. And then we'll go ahead and do that water change, all right? So it's been about an hour with the salt water mixing in here. I got my Reef rectometer. I got the Milwaukee one, like I showed you guys earlier. Let's see here how much we're reading. So 126, 126, you got it, 126. Temperature, still on the warmer side, about A2. Definitely a lot cooler. I just gotta wait a little bit longer so it cools down. And then we'll go ahead and do the water change. But you can see here, 1.026. All right, so we got our 5-gallon bucket of freshly mixed salt water. Look how clear that is. All right, so I go ahead and place that here. For this one, since it's such a small amount, I'll just use this tube in here. All right, just to get the water out. So let me turn everything off first. Toss that there, camera off, unplug the ATO just to be safe. I have my little wave maker controller right here. Pause that guy. All right, one moment guys. All right, I turn off the other wave maker, so everything is off in here. All right, so what I do, just take the lid off. I grab my tube, put it in there, just get the suction going faster like this. There you go, right on the line. Tiny bit more though. There you go, right on the line. Put my tube right in here. And normally I will put some directly from the bucket in here, but I don't want to make a mess. So what I do now, it's I turn on, turn right here again. Have this measured already, and I just go ahead and add this water here, just like so. I leave a little bit here, even though it's measured pretty exact. I just let it go down a little bit. You can see it starts filling up again. Bubble algae in here. Get rid of it. Try not to pop them. I do have some cleanup crew for bubble algae, but man, I don't know. They're not doing it. All right. So you can see levels going down pretty fast over there. So we just add some more. Let's kind of do this thing. Let's give it some time. Let me grab a towel or something. Should have grabbed a towel from the beginning. Grab one. My wife doesn't kill me. Sorry, babe. I'm sorry, baby. So let's just put it on here. Oh, we got a little bit of water spill. So I was going here and look at the sensor. So it's right on it, a little bit on there, the first notch, the first pyramid, I guess. So I do have a little bit here. So that little bit will be what gets it to the right level. So when I'm fully empty, took that bucket out. So the water doesn't look that dirty. A little bit, I guess, yellowish, but very slight. I do have a carbon bag in here that I change once a month, depending on what's going on in the tank, what I'm doing. But I change it once a month. I've got this little sponge that I have here. Kind of like scrub inside here. I leave the dirty socks just so catch whatever dripping here. But look, all this salt build up in the back. See that? I don't put that back in the tank. So switch here, the same water. Grab all that. You see, a salt creep Scrub a little bit right here. This is on the inside. So I give it a little scrub, nothing too crazy. Just remove that excess salt creep. You see right here? Okay. And just a little cleaning, nothing wild. Okay. This right here is for the wall. And what I do is I keep sponge just right there. These down. I'm dosing one alk only on this tank. Calcium and magnesium stays pretty stable with the water changes, but alk is definitely consumed pretty fast. So I think I have this tank at like mLs a day. Yeah, like mLs or 1.5 mLs a day. So like in the morning, half in the afternoon or evening. So that's what I'm doing with this tank for dosing. So I was dosing off a Reef on this tank before. However, it was increasing my calcium and magnesium like too much. Calcium and mag was getting too high, and alk was where it needed to be, but the calcium was over 600 and the magnesium was over like everything was getting mad in there, getting irritated. So yeah, not good. I don't know what's going on with my Pectinia here. He looks like he's peeling back. I don't know. I seen polyp extension at night. I feel they've been coming out during the nighttime. So this tank has been up for like a year now. Not sure. I do my testing on Sundays as well, so I always go ahead and check. I go ahead and check the parameters or how's the water, right? So I check on calcium, I check on mag, I check on the alk, and you see that yellow? Is that like a sponge or something? Like a yellow sponge or filter feeder, like a tube, worm tube or something, but it's yellow. I never seen that before. That's neat. I don't know how it got there, but it got there. Nature doing its thing, right? So yeah, try check on this Pectinia though. It does look like inflated in the base, and I just see like the little tentacles coming out at night. I don't know, maybe the coral beauty is picking at it. Hopefully not, but I'll keep an eye on it. I haven't seen him do it, but yeah, check that out, see what's going on there. All right, so once I'm done with this little cleaning like that, just take some water out of the sponge, put it right there. That's the base for the return. Took it off, never put it back. It was like, I don't know. And this to unclog the line there. If it ever gets clogged, I just poke it with this. I'll use it for anything else, just that. So that's it for this guy. All right, let's look at the level. Make sure it's good. Yeah, there you go. That's right on it. I don't know if you guys can see it. That's right on it right there. Okay, back on. Let me get my cup. It's a little baby skimmer. I should probably get a real skimmer for this tank, but honestly, it stays pretty clean. Look at this. It's not a lot of skimmer compared, obviously, to my bigger tank, but this little skimmer does its job, right? I'm pulling those extra nutrients, fish poop, and everything else. Just go in here and clean it with the same tank water. Here I am cleaning poop. Who would have thought? All right. I just make sure I clean it pretty well. Swirls. There you go. Pretty clean. Let's go in here. Put it back on. There you go. Got that lid. I normally don't clean the lid. I just leave it like that. And boom. Now I just go get my filter socks changed. They don't need that. It doesn't need to be changed. They're not getting clogged or anything like that. I just like changing them once a week. That way they can stay as clean as possible, right? So I got my socks right here. Just make sure they don't smell funny or anything crazy. Okay, need that bucket. So I have to clean these. So put it in here. Just clean them with water. All right. So these are nice and clean. I put these little rocks on them so they down. You can see that was holding some water. So you can feel it when you pull them up. Water takes a while for it to go through it. So that's why I like to change them. I know they're getting a little clogged. I don't have to change it with the sump level or anything like that. I'll just slap those guys in there. Then I come here, put a little rock on that edge. That just helps me keep if for some reason they'll come up and come up through the corner or through the side. So that's what I use to this is basically clean. That's the second one, so not a lot of water gets to it. Like changing them anyways. All right, this doesn't hurt at all. The majority of the water goes through the first one. I guess this is the backup, right? So if the first one gets clogged, this one is supposed to catch it. But you know, I wanted to try this, right? So water change is done. Filter sucks have been replaced. Scrub down a little bit of the sump for the salt creep and all that. I don't mess with the biomedia. Level is good. I'll just go ahead and replug my ATO as well. Sure that one is in there. We'll pick up a couple times. Beep and beep, blue. So we are good. Return is on. Wave makers are on. Filter socks were changed. Camera is on. And that's it, guys. That's what I do for the water change for the 60-gallon Pro Star. Okay. We'll go ahead and do the 144. We'll be right back. All right, guys. So I didn't record the water change here just because there's so much flashing that I didn't want to be looking at this for too long, but the water change is done complete here. This one, like I showed you guys earlier, that's how it's looking right now. Nice and clean, clear water. Just gonna wipe down the glass on the outside for any marks or anything like that. And that's it, guys. That's how I do my water change here. The container here is, this brute container is empty, just a little bit left. It's me, I mixed up, messing up with the measurement. I added a little bit more salt that I needed. So for my next batch, I'm only gonna do 7 1/4 for the tropic marine salt, because I did 7 1/2 and it did ended up at like 1.029. So I had to dilute it a little bit with some water. So for next one, I will do 7 cups and 1/4, and that should give me that 1.026 that I'm looking for. If not, I'll just try with 7 first and then measure there, see where I'm at. And if I'm right where I need to be, then I'll just keep it like that. If not, I'll add another 1/4 or 1/4 there. But yeah, good guys, everything is set. Skimmer is on. I'm not gonna replace the cup yet, clean it because it's not even halfway full. So I'm gonna keep it like that. I have to change filter socks on this one, thank God. I do have the filter roller, been working awesome. And that's it. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, please like, comment, subscribe, and see you on the next one.